I haven't really even delved into this topic. I don't think in all the videos, I think I'm up to what, 100, 101 or whatever videos now. And I don't even think I've covered any of this. Why? I guess because I'm not a big fan of trying to divide the sexes, you know? We kind of need each other. That's how life flourishes. You know, whether you look in nature or the human experience, it's all the same. We need each other. Males and females have to come together. You know, that is what life is all about. That's what procreation is all about. That's how we sustain the species. But I see now my counterparts, the feminazis, the fucking collectivists, the parasites, the socialists, the female fascists. Well, they've been hard at it. And as a typical strong, independent male, white male as you can see, for the most part, I don't try to impose anything. Let people say and do whatever they want. But when their speeches turn into actual physical threats of violence, force and coercion, and a gun held to my head, well, excuse me if I feel the need, the necessity to respond. I mean, you've all heard many examples of these social justice warriors. And I mean, think about it. For the most part, you know who they are. They're women or men. I don't know what the fuck who these men are, but really, they're men, but their brains function like the women. Okay, you're not a typical male. All right, when you think in this social justice warrior fucking bullshit, right? We've heard all the stories about the universities and college and the suppression of free speech and safe spaces and fucking women accusing men of just rape culture and blah blah fucking blah fucking blah fucking blah fucking blah, and how even if a man tries to defend himself or men try to come together to defend themselves against these feminazi bitches and their male cohorts. But here we are again. Financial Post reporting under the career section. And it's trending, apparently. Girls can have it all. SheBiz opens up financial career possibilities for teens. SheBiz. The bell rings over a PA system as traders flock to the pit and begin the task of exchanging land, labor, capital, and market stocks. The hustle and bustle is so loud that bystanders hoping to have any form of a conversation are forced to yell over the traders who are trying to diversify a portfolio for their stakeholders. But this isn't a stock exchange on Wall Street, and these aren't your typical day traders. This is the Rotman School of Management at the University of Toronto. Of course, you know, fucking Toronto. The hub for these fucking morons. Where a day-long event called SheBiz is being held for more than 500 female high school students from more than 10 schools throughout Toronto and the surrounding. 10 schools? Like, what? Anyways, the simulated trading pit is at the front of a large lecture hall where students have been introduced to many career options for women in business, most specifically in financial areas. But I mean, once again, this is all divide and conquer. This is all fucking feminazi bitches. No, what's the point of this? If men, I mean, think about what happens whenever men, like I said, let's use objective reasoning, evidence, okay? When men get together and exclude females and create an event that is male-oriented only, all the fucking outrage by the media in Canada, all your look, because I mean, think about it. All the media in Canada predominantly are fucking leftist media outlets. They're all run by these feminazi fucking bitches or men that in their brain functions along that same line. Because, I mean, that's another thing too, Canada. If you want to know why this happens, 2 + 2 is 4. And when you have schools, and this has been reported by the media, so just if you don't believe what I'm telling you, go back and look. Almost 9 out of 10 teachers, whether it's in your younger grades, your high school, like your high schools or your post-secondary, basically 9 in 10 teachers nowadays are fucking females. Females that chose to go into not just careers of working for the government, but that want to shape and mold the minds of the youth in this country. So yeah, I mean, there are some good ones. Don't get me wrong. There are exceptions to the rule, but predominantly you're talking about fucking feminazi bitches for the most part, okay? And they have twisted and distorted. Well, I mean, look at young men today. Oh, yeah, especially young white men. Oh, you're as oppressed as fuck. You are that. You're that black kid. You're Rosa Parks sitting at the back of the bus if you're a young white male today. Especially if you're even remotely close to like a libertarian or an individualist or anyone that believes in conservatism, genuine conservatism. You are the oppressed individual that you were warned about. If there was such thing as just a business school that was predominantly or an event for just men, well, you know goddamn well all of the outrage by the media. I mean, think about it. That's another thing. I actually almost covered this entirely in a recent prior video. But let's be honest, Canada. I put out these videos, like I said, over 100 now. My reach is pretty minute. But everyone has access to this shit. But since my reach is so minute, what does that tell you? Nobody's trying to propagate the message I'm giving to you. But as soon as anything happens, whether it's here in this country, Canada, or any of the provinces, even around the entire globe, halfway across the world, in places in the Middle East, you'll hear about it, or in France, which is way across the pond, as we call it, thousands of miles away. You'll hear about it. Even people that don't pay attention to the news will hear about what happened, like the terrorist attacks in Paris, right? So, does that not tell you that if it's information that the media or the politicians, the central planners, if it's something they want you to know, it's as easy as fucking pie and you'll know it. Whether you even pay attention to the news or not, you will know it because somebody in your family, your friends, your circle, your inner circle, your outer circle, somehow, some way, you will find out about that. But are you learning any of the truths like that people like me are trying to tell you? No, you won't. Why do you suppose that is? No, I'm not trying to suggest that it's not out there and available because, I mean, if you actively search for it, you'll see the truth is out there for you. But why isn't the media, the people that have the platform and the reach to get that information out to you instantly, why do they not propagate that? Do you not question that? Do you not question, wait a minute, why don't they let the alternative narratives come through so that we can hear from all sides of the equation and make our judgment based on who presented the most evidence, the most facts, right? How come that is? Well, because once again, even when you look in the news media, other than the control freak males, you're looking at a lot of these feminazi bitches that run the show. Don't take my word for it. Go do the research. Take the time and effort that I do every fucking day to try to figure this shit out on your own. And you'll come to the same conclusion. Of course, you want to close your eyes, cover your eyes, plug your ears, right? And pretend that this shit's not real. I mean, I guess you can keep denying it if you never actually fucking look at it. Try looking at it. You'll see. Yeah, damn right I'm right. It's time for men, especially us, well, not just my demographic, actually the younger people. Every man on this planet, if you call yourself a man, if you want to pretend to be of the male species, all right? It's time we start defending each other, standing up for each other. Stop fucking fighting. And I mean, remain competitive. No doubt about that. Remain competitive. Let's raise and elevate each other. That's what competition does. Let's raise and elevate each other to the max. That's what I'm all about. But don't fucking play the games of politics. Acknowledge truth and reality when it fucking is presented to you. And I don't give a fuck if your wife, your daughter, your aunt, your niece. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. Look down if you recognize there's a set of fucking balls down there. Have the courage and conviction to stand for what's right. Because those of you, and there is a large percentage of you that won't do it because you just want to go along to get along. Right? Just want to keep the peace because I don't want to have anybody go against me. You're not real men. Or you might be a real man, but you're hiding behind an ideology that prevents you from actually achieving that reality. It's time for all of us, men. And I don't give a shit if your ideology is different as long as it doesn't have anything to do with using force, coercion, or the threat of violence or violence itself as a means to an end. Let's put all that bullshit aside, unless it's for defensive measures, truly defensive measures, where there's an immediate and imminent threat. Let's put all that bullshit aside, and let's show the kind of solidarity that all the other fucking groups are showing. Whether it's the feminists, the LGBTQ or whatever communities, minorities, all these other special interest groups, they seem to have no problem coming together to defend each other. The time has now become for us men, especially the men that understand what being a man is all about. It's time for us all to come together, stand in solidarity with each other, to knock down these fucking goddamn fucking nasty, vicious dominoes that are just wanting to land on top of us and squish us. All right? I'm tired of, just because I know that if I'm challenged, I'm tired of the fact that just because we know that we have the strength and the capabilities, I'm tired of suppressing that capabilities and relenting and becoming obedient wage slaves and serfs for the feminazis or these special interest groups. I'm tired of it. Let's break out of that fucking mold. This is my challenge to all men. Doesn't even matter where you live. Doesn't matter what geographical landmass you claim to be your own or that you live in. This is of paramount importance. And I'm not talking about, using violence and everything. I mean, just at least show them, flex the muscle. Flex it. You don't have to hit anyone. You don't have to use that violence or force. Just flex your fucking muscle. You have it for a reason. Use it. It's Canadian Libertarian. And you know I love liberty.